Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking, and I'm here to share some information about Vesta, because actually it's going to be station retrograde from tomorrow onwards, basically the 19th of January. And actually Vesta is quite an important baby planet. She got reclassified. She used to be a planet and then now she is a dwarf planet. And and she is quite prominent in your personal astrological birth chart. So Vesta is one of the four main asteroids used in astrology. She is also known as Hestia in Greek mythology, and she was the sister of Zeus. And she grew up as a very beautiful maiden, and she was meant to be the wife of Apollon or Poseidon, and basically she refused them, and she asked Zeus, basically Jupiter in astrology, to let her remain an eternal virgin. So in astrology, Vesta contains the elements of Virgo and Scorpio, and Virgo is represented by Vesta, which is the virgin part of hers, and Scorpio is associated with sex and passion. So the two very important meaning of Vesta is going to be around those two topics, something to do with the sexuality, something to do with the home, the hearth, something to do with the warmth, and also where in life we should be showing some type of dedications. So as I mentioned, Vesta is associated with the virgins of the ancient Rome. They worshipped her in a temple, and actually they were directed by a man called Pontifex Maximus. There were 6 of them, and they were between the age of 6 and 10, and they had to promise to be a virgin for at least 30 years. And by the way, Saturn was the father of Vesta. So in many cases, Vesta gets triggered, for instance, in a love triangle, which was very punishable among those who wanted to sleep with the Vesta virgins. Especially that's usually the case when Vesta is placed, for instance, in the sign of Libra. The Vesta virgins were actually the keepers of the sacred flame. So therefore, Vesta is so much associated with passion and fire. It represents the fire within us, especially in a female-dominant environment. So a prominent Vesta could actually indicate in a male's chart that the person will be surrounded by females a lot. That's especially true when Vesta is placed in the 4th house or even in the sign of Cancer. Maybe those male people are going to be admired, or the one they marry has plenty of sisters, and so forth, because Vesta represents sisterhood in the chart. Also, it very much rules over gender politics. So, and it's gonna be an important topic, I think, in the upcoming month, something to do with gender and maybe marriage, and something to do with home environment and having a child and so forth, because Vesta has just gone retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo is so much to do with lifestyle we choose. So as I said, Vesta, for instance, in the sign of Libra can indicate love triangles, or attracting men who have got issues with women. So the type of chauvinist type of man, unfortunately, people can attract. The asteroid Vesta is also common in families where there may be one former husband and a mother and, for instance, 2 daughters, or where the father passed away and there is, for instance, a stepmother involved. So a little bit of a Cinderella type of situation. So Vesta in our natal chart represents what is most sacred to us. Vesta represents the sacred dimension of our sexuality. And a blocked Vesta energy may reveal itself in unrealized sexual potentials, or even the denial of sexuality and passion. So, as I said, Vesta represents the sisterhood, the home. It's a very much of a nurturing energy. And whenever Vesta is in your chart, that's where you have got the potential to collaborate with females or even create sisterhoods. Vesta is also prominent in medical astrology. It relates to the bowels and the metabolism. So, for instance, if you have got Vesta in the sign of Aries or Gemini, your metabolism can be quite fast. But if you have got it in fixed signs such as Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio, then your metabolism can be a lot slower. So, as I said, Vesta is all about like a focal point of the chart. You must keep the flame in that area of life. You must do something about it. So the need to be dedicated, focused, and passionate to a cause you believe, it is the key to bring the success of that area, whatever Vesta symbolizes in your chart. You have to put the work in it. Don't forget, this is the daughter of Saturn. So Vesta is going to carry some Saturnian traits within herself. Vesta is all about tantric sexuality and basically what makes you hot. So Vesta can be one of the most important asteroids in love synastry. You might want to be looking at whether your Vesta is connecting to your partner in a challenging or in a good way. So, and as I said, Vesta is going to go retrograde on the 19th of January, just like every single planet. And a retrograde is all about a chance for a reflection. It can point to a shift in your dreams and in your goals. Maybe it could even bring a change in residence or transformation in our relationships with the family. And as I said, Vesta at the moment is in the sign of Virgo, which is very critical. It's an analytical sign. So we can be on a personal level very critical towards our loved ones and towards our family members as well. However, we should be looking inside. Retrograde is all about reflecting our acting out, basically. Why am I doing that? And so forth. So maybe you're going to have to sit down and reevaluate your life a little bit more. Remember, Vesta carries the Scorpio energy, which is all about pulling within, and Virgo is all about analyzing the traits. Vesta in Virgo also talks about rituals, the habits we are having. So we need to examine those as well a little bit more. It can make us very, very judgmental. So be careful about self-examination. Don't take it too far. Yes, the ability to concentrate on a specific task or a goal is very much influenced by Vesta as well, the Vesta placement. And I think this time around, any type of project, yeah, you can go back a little bit and then revise. By the way, Vesta is a Latin word, and if you translate it, actually, it means focus. So it very much talks about work ethic, kind of a meticulous approach to problems of any sort. So how I usually describe Vesta in Virgo is that you have got an issue and then you put it underneath a microscope, and then Virgo starts examining it, and Vesta is giving you kind of the focal point of that microscope. So on a world scale, I think because of the nature of Virgo, which is all about healthcare, and I also made a video about Chariklo making an important appearance next week as well. I think it's going to be talking about COVID. So maybe one of the vaccine is going to get re-examined. Maybe one of them actually going to be taken off the shelves. I think there might be a kind of a regulation about working time, or something to do with what can be open, what cannot be open. A retrograde is all about revising things. So maybe they're going to be revising certain type of work people have been doing. Um, Maybe they are going to be doing additional research around COVID, or the needs to come up with a new vaccine, for instance. Virgo Vesta is very much about examining the structure, what it contains. Virgo is the natural healing path as well. So even maybe someone is going to start writing about natural forms of healing COVID. And by the way, we also have got a very prominent fixed star as well with Vesta on 21 degree of Virgo. And its name is, oh, 1 second. Oh yeah, so its name is Danibola. And it's a very powerful force. It usually talks about something which is going to be succeeding or very catastrophic. So Danibola has got this so much energy around it, but it contains the possibility of failure. And it always says that we should not be ruling out that possibility as well. So Danibola has got like this devastating excess of power, which could cause physical and psychological illnesses. So I would say that Danibola has got a Uranian flavor to it. So something which is happening out of the blue, as I said, catastrophic type of energies. So I think something is gonna, on a world scale, pop up around COVID in the next few months, which might be having a shocking effect. By the way, what's also interesting is that Danibola is in the Leo constellation, and Leo rules kingdom, stock exchange, the Vatican, the European Union, the elections, or it even talks about the death of kings. So even some of those topics can be very activated with this Vesta retrograde period, by the way, which is going to be lasting till middle of April, and then it's going to go station direct and eventually moving forward. So this could be indicating that in the middle of April, we're going to see some of the results of the researches they might be making about COVID at the moment, and somehow it gives you the possibility of maybe gaining your freedom, at least to a certain extent, back. So I hope you have learned a lot about Vesta. This is not something many of us tend to be looking at, but I like using the 4-6 major asteroids because they can reveal quite a lot about us. For instance, I have got Vesta in my second house, in my first house in conjunction with Mars. And Mars is the ruler of my second house. So, you know, one of the first things I had to learn about Vesta conjunction to Mars, and I learned that at a very young age when I was 17, that the only person I can rely on is myself. And if I want to make money, I'm going to have to put myself, first house, there. Some of you who might know me, but I really breathe and, you know, live astrology, and I try to live my life according to the planetary alignment to bring the best out of them and turning squares and oppositions into something which eventually become a trine. So I am very much fond of a psychological astrology, and I hope Vesta will give you additional information of what should be your focal area of life in your chart. So thank you very much for your attention, and don't forget to push like. I mean, press like if you want to. And also don't forget to push the notification bell so you can listen to more of my upcoming videos. This week I have recorded 7 of them. Some of them are educational and some of them are some predictive work. So stay tuned. Have a blessed week, everyone. Bye-bye.